In this episode of Let's Talk About Your Breast, guest host Shannon McNair talks to a survivor and advocate, Felicia Kent. Felicia found a lump by chance. She didn't have insurance, and somehow or another, she found her way to the Rose. Her local neighborhood clinic knew where to send her. Felicia shares how those 3 words, "you have cancer," shook her world, how faith and a determined daughter carried her through surgery, chemo, and radiation. If Felicia's story makes you think of someone who's found a lump and feels alone, please share this episode with them and consider making a donation so another woman gets the care that she needs at therose.org. Welcome to Let's Talk About Your Breast, a podcast brought to you by The Rose, Breast Imaging Center of Excellence and a Texas treasure. I'm Dorothy Gibbons, your host and co-founder of The Rose. During this season, you'll also be hearing from co-host Roxanne Hayford and others as we bring you stories from survivors, physicians, caregivers, researchers, employees, and supporters. These are real people sharing difficult times, celebrations, and personal stories of hope, despair, and faith.
Felicia, welcome to our podcast here at The Rose. So grateful to have you here with us. So talk a little bit about, I know you are a survivor and you found your lump. So talk a little bit about that. Were you doing self-exams regularly or is it just by chance?
I do them regularly, and this was by chance, actually.
Okay.
Just sitting there and watching, I think, one of the sports shows, and I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't belong there.
Yep.
And immediately was concerned.
Sure.
But I did another self-exam and thought, okay, this might need to be looked at. Now, at the time, I didn't have insurance.
Right.
And so I believe it might have even been about 4 months.
Wow, okay.
Before I had seen anyone. I was trying to figure out where to go, and I knew that I should come to the Rose. I knew about the Rose from working at the boutique with the Burgess.
Yes.
And we actually had referred one of my coworkers.
Okay.
And I saw what.
So you'd heard about the Rose, but didn't quite come in right away.
I didn't know. I knew I needed a referral.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And I kept saying, Lord, how do I get a referral? Where do I go? Do I go back to the boutique and see if maybe they can help me? And I decided to go to a clinic that was actually walking distance to where I live. Drove there, and I went in, and I kind of looked at the surroundings. I was like, oh, this is pretty nice, and got inside, and once I explained to her what was going on, she immediately came back and said, before we do anything else, I'm going to refer you to the Rose.
Perfect.
And answered prayers.
Right.
So I contacted you all and set up an appointment, not knowing what to expect. And I owe you all. You saved my life.
That's amazing. We love to hear that. That's why we're here. Obviously, that's the mission, is to help all women get the care that they need.
Yes.
Anytime that they need it. So you came to the Rose, got, unfortunately, the news that no one wanted to get.
I got the biopsy done, came back and met with Laura, and I got the news. And I'll tell anyone, I think you probably heard it many times, it's immediately like a death sentence. Right. Immediately, you go into thoughts of your children,
right?
Future, is everything in order? What do I do? And one of the nurses came in, and she was really nice. She said, my sister was diagnosed with this last year, and she's doing okay. And from there, we took it head on.
Good for you. Good. So talk about talking to your family and that support you had from them as well.
That was hard. I have one biological daughter and 2 sons with autism I adopted in high school. And at first I didn't tell my children.
Okay.
I shared it with my sister, and she broke down, and I told her immediately, I don't need the tears. It's okay.
Right.
I face other challenges, and we're going to face this. And immediately in prayer, I just knew that, okay, I need to be a testimony for other people. So I'll get through this. And then
So you felt that way from the beginning.
Immediately. Wow. And that helped me get through the treatment. The first day of treatment, it was really crazy because I immediately thought, okay, well, where do I go for treatment? I had 3 different options. I checked 2 different places, of course, MD Anderson and, of course, Methodist. But I settled on Texas Oncology, and they took good care of me. They even helped me with sharing with my family.
Oh, well, that's great.
So I eventually let my daughter know, and she's 28 years old, and she said, "We're gonna fight this thing, and you're gonna be fine." And she came home to take care of me, and she's been there ever since. So.
That's amazing to have that support, as you know.
Yeah.
And not everybody has that. And so you had your church family as well, and your family here with you to get through that. Is there anything you wish you knew back then that someone would? I know no one can explain it until you go through it.
No, but it's so many things. That's a great question, because that's one thing that I share with others right now. Everything that I didn't know and wasn't told, I try to share with others. And there was different parts of the treatment in reference to, I'm a researcher, so everything that was, okay, this is a side effect, and I decided we're going to take, like with the medications, we're not going to take them as needed. We're going to take them as prescribed.
Listen to your doctors.
So I didn't have a lot of the side effects.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have a lot of nausea. I just, if it said take it every 4 hours, I took it every 4 hours, not as needed.
Right.
So that helped. And then also the effects of like the radiation, or even now with the fluid.
Yeah.
That was a major thing. I had no idea.
Right.
That would be a tackle. So I think that was the main thing. The main thing is just some of the things that trying to make sure. I've seen other people have to go through, and it's a cruel disease if you're not cautious or aware. And so that's where I just dug in. I tried to do whatever I could to offset everything.
Right.
But I think that was the main thing. The main thing is some of the mouth sores, the nosebleeds, those side effects that aren't really talked about
as much as others are. And of course, everybody has different reactions to everything too.
Yes,
but you
just
don't
the
know.
common ones.
You don't know until you know.
And I even when I would go into treatment for chemo, I tried to share with other people. This is what I did. I got the Rosol from my nose.
Right.
That helped. The taking the medication, like I said, instead of, because we wait too late, then you have those side effects.
Right.
So those were the main things that I tried to share with others that I just had no idea.
Well, from the beginning, you wanted to embrace what this was going to be and what was going to be afterwards, and sharing and the awareness. So how are you doing that now? I know you have a nonprofit you started in addition to working with your church to help survivors. I'm Her Too.
Yes.
And talk about that. What inspired that, and what are you doing with that group?
At the time I was diagnosed, I was at a point of, I was in school trying to finish my psychology degree. And by God's grace, in between surgery, chemo, there was a little break of radiation before starting radiation. And I was able to graduate. And going through the community health worker, it just came to me that, hey, that, this is how you can share, not only locally in my church family and people around or that I meet, but I can start this organization and get this information out. So I try to share through the blogs. I'm doing peer-to-peer support, having conversations. Such as this.
Yes, awareness, yes.
Where we can share
right.
What's going on, how are you, where are you in your treatment, and also helping with Christmas and those people that are in treatment, Valentine's Day, just to let them know and put a smile on their face to help them get through.
That's amazing.
That was, I mean, immediately I knew that I had to do something, and that came to me, and I just built the website and got started.
And just got started.
Just got started.
Easy as that. And so, what have people talked to you about in this support system? I assume you're getting some things out of it as well, even post treatment.
Yes.
And in your follow up care afterwards. What are the things that you're learning? The lessons you're learning now as you talk more?
Mainly the awareness, mammograms, and the number one thing is I don't have insurance,
Right?
And I don't know what to do, and a lot of questions of what I've been diagnosed. What did you do?
Right.
Were there some natural things you did? Which there were.
Right.
There were some things that I adopted and did also, and by God's grace, my doctor, they were amazed every time I would come in. They're like, you have a good attitude. You're always bubbly. This is one of the harshest treatments. What are you doing? Whatever it is, keep doing it.
Keep doing it.
So those are some of the things that I try to share with them. A lot of questions about insurance. Shared a lot about the Rose, and how to get through. Those are the main questions that they have. A lot of people have, because everyone has their own opinion, or their own insights, or their own experiences,
Right.
and they don't share the positive side. And I think that's major. Your mindset and your attitude is everything to get through.
I know you think that's definitely, we see that all the time with patients too, that having that attitude helps mentally, when they say laughter is the best medicine for a reason, but also that mental and support, in which you had, great support system too, and that makes a huge difference for folks to have that support of.
That is one of the things that come up, or has come up recently with some of the patients that I've spoke to, because they say, your family don't understand. And I understand it. You don't until you're in it. And,
right.
And this is a battle, and you fight every day.
Yeah.
Even post.
Right.
So that's been a major thing, talking to others, how to stay positive without that support.
Right.
I had my children, my family, but I had family members who didn't understand it. I had family members that stayed away because they didn't understand.
Right.
So I try to share that with others.
Right.
That, hey, it's okay. Even when they pull away, we have to have an understanding as to why they're fearful.
Right. And what would you say to people who are fearful, pull away maybe because they're afraid to say the wrong thing, or they don't even know how to offer support? What would you have appreciated for some of those people? Or would you say to them now, how can they be there for someone if they're just not sure what to do or what to say?
I spoke with my older sister about this, and I explained to her that it's okay if you don't have anything to say. Sometimes it's good to just be there.
Oh, that's great.
Sometimes it's good to listen, just to say, I love you,
right,
and I am here. If you need anything,
right, I'm
here. And that doesn't obligate you to anything. I think that's good to know.
Yeah. Because I do think a lot of people, I've had friends that have gone through this too, and even in this world that I'm in, it still was a shock. I still didn't know, you still don't know exactly I still don't know what it's like to go through it. Even though I talk to a lot of people and I'm in this world, I won't know, what I don't know, and no one can know all that. So would you encourage those people then to just jump in and be there? I
think so. Just jump in, be there. It's always good, meals. It's some of the smallest things, provide some things for meals. Maybe take it upon yourself to learn a little bit.
Yeah.
And then that'll help you to be there for them. Right. And us as patients, sometimes have to open up.
True.
And
It let
we have to
people,
let
yeah.
them know
Yeah.
what we need.
Right.
I would tell, it was times I would tell, it's nothing you can do.
Right.
I had no problem saying that.
Right.
My partner, I had to tell him, hey, there's going to be a time that you're not going to be able to be here. I know you try to be here for he's like, no, but I know.
Right.
There is going to come a time. And it did. It came a time.
Yeah.
You still have a life.
Right.
You still have to work. You still have to live. You still have to do things, your own obligations.
Right.
So being open to that and understanding even that it is our fight and our battle. And there's times that we have to be with ourselves.
Right.
And I'm religious, so with the
Yes.
Lord or whoever that higher power is, it's going to come a time that's that self-observation and self-awareness. So I think that's important.
We hear about faith all the time too, and how important that is for folks to get through it. And I think for folks to support in ways too. That is, if it's just a prayer and just let someone know that you're praying for them, even if you can't be there or you're not in an inner circle with someone,
Right.
but you can still be there in other ways too. So with your foundation and what you're doing, is there anything else you're with that group and that awareness that you're trying to share with family members and caregivers?
That's where I'm trying to come up, like I said, and implement different programs. Like I said, I thought about it for Christmas. We always do Christmas in the community and help with anyone that's in need. But with the foundation, I focused on grandparents or parents. Those people going through, and they didn't have time to go out. And the joy that it brought, just, hey, I'm going to deliver them. You don't have to come and get them. I'll bring them to you. And to see the joy on their faces that they're able to provide for them without having to go out or wonder and worry.
Right. I love that you mentioned Valentine's Day too, because I think we think of breast cancers only in October, and that's just obviously that's what we think about it, and that's not when people are diagnosed all the time, and it's a year-round disease. And I think the same thing for letting people know you care and you're there for them. It's not just Christmas.
That's right.
It's not just Thanksgiving that we're thankful. It can be all throughout the year that we can offer support.
We have Valentine's Day. We have Mother's Day.
Right.
Father's Day.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
so many different areas and that's what I want to do, consistently show others that you're not alone and someone cares. And just to ease whatever we could do to ease the heavy weight of, especially in treatment.
Right.
So that's where I am. And then, of course, for October, we did
given.
different walks. We did the Sisters to Sisters 5K walk. We do the Change for Change now. We started to implement that.
What is Change for Change?
Where with the church, where we have everyone, every time we meet, you bring all the spare change you have. Anywhere that you can have change, bring it in.
And we all have that.
Everything, yes.
Yeah. My car door handle.
Mine
that's
too.
That's where mine gets dumped. Yes.
So bring that change and leave it with us, and then towards the end, we will put that all together. And the goal is to present you all.
Oh, well,
that's
wonderful.
With
wonderful.
a donation to help others, just to help, and then educate these women and men on mammograms and breast cancer, and that's another major thing we do.
And I know one of the things you focus on with awareness is in the African American community specifically.
Yes, I was just
so what do you feel like why that is so important within that community to support and have the awareness there?
Well, what I learned is that the knowledge, just the education of breast cancer and the rose, that you do have an opportunity, and mammograms, how important it is. I learned about how this hits at a young age. So many
younger and younger. Yeah.
Well, yes,
yeah.
And so in the African American community, I don't have insurance, so I can't afford it, so it's not there.
Right.
it doesn't happen. But the numbers, when you look at the statistics
Right.
and the treatment, when you hear so many of African Americans, they hear chemo, radiation, and what it does to your body or what they think it does.
Right.
And so they choose and opt out not to even do that. So I want others to see you can do it.
Right.
You can make it through.
Right.
I did.
Right.
Was it easy? No.
Right. But more than survive, I think.
But yes.
You're thriving.
Yes. That's another thing. Yes. Not only just surviving. When I tell people, hey, I was in the middle of finishing my degree.
Right.
But I actually walked and got my degree. Came back and right into radiation. I had chemo, I had lumpectomy, graduated, came back, let's do the radiation, go back into chemo,
Right.
And then afterwards came the fluid. Then I had to switch. Okay, now I have to figure out how to manage these things.
And when you talk about the fluids, explain that for people, what that was going through for you.
I realized that I had some tingling and some numbness.
Okay.
And so my doctor referred me to a physical therapist. And that's where that treatment started.
Yeah.
Because of the buildup in your lymphatic system.
Right.
Something they don't tell you.
Right.
They don't talk about much.
Right.
But, and so I just learned how to do that. I have the lymphatic machine. My physical therapist, she laughed. She said, you just may as well be a poster child for this, because she saw the difference that it made. But I told her, I said, hey, I'll leave that machine right here. So every day I look at it, it means get on the machine. You have to.
Right.
The garments, the things that will help reduce any fluid buildup.
Right.
I was blessed that I didn't have any cancer that went into my lymph nodes.
Okay.
But they did take some
Right.
to test it. So that's where.
Right. So
Of
you have
course,
that
the buildup
lymphedema becomes an issue post everything. Yes. And neuropathy. And
Yes. And recently when I went to see my surgeon, I asked her, I said, so what can you tell me about the fluid? And she said, well, you're going to have to deal with that probably the rest of your life. You have to learn to manage it.
right.
I wasn't happy about that, but okay. It just put me in mind that I had to realize that my body would never actually be the same.
That's an important thing for everybody to know.
Yes.
The new normal.
Yes. But I have the things to manage it. The neuropathy kicked in, and that was another thing I asked my oncologist about. I said, well, you didn't tell me that I was going to have to deal with that too. And he's like, well, yeah, so there's medication, there are things that I choose not to take the medicine if I don't have to.
Right.
And so I move around a lot. I make sure that every day I get some movement in.
And were you active before the diagnosis?
Not as much. I always have been active, up and going, but not. I can't say that, hey, I got out and walked every day.
Right.
And I started that probably 2 months into it. I started every day. Let's get out. Let's walk. And it's helped a lot. I mean, it helps a lot, and especially with the neuropathy. And then another thing that recently, I have a service dog, an emotional support dog. And so that's something that I think a lot of people are like, what? I didn't even know that you were able to even get that. And so every day I have to walk him.
Right. So get you out. Yes.
So that gets me out.
Right.
And that's something I was sharing with others as well, because of the anxiety of reoccurrence.
Oh, really?
Is where that came in.
And I think it's important to talk about that mental. We've talked about a lot of the physical implications, but the mental implications of going through treatment. So weighing on you is reoccurrence.
Yes. Immediately, I realized that was something that I was really concerned with, and the anxiety of it. And so of course, I spoke with a therapist, and I spoke with my doctor, and he said he thought maybe the emotional support dog would help. And it has. But I'm a researcher, so I try to research as well.
But so you haven't been out of treatment long.
No.
When did all this wrap up for you? And we talk about being anxious about reoccurrence.
July
you're a recent
will be
survivor.
a year.
Yeah, you're a very recent survivor to talk about this too. So I think that's kind of important to talk about. All this is still new
Very
for
fresh.
you. And yet you've done a lot, not just for yourself, but for others and all of that too, which is amazing. And we're so grateful you were here today to talk to us.
Thank you.
Share your story. I think people, as you know, in sharing your story privately and with smaller groups, how much it matters for people to hear your story, because every story is different. But there's going to be someone who can relate to anything that you've been through and what you're still going through.
Yes.
And I think it's important to talk about that mental health, that we take care of that too. There's no shame in that.
Yes.
Everyone, has that feeling. And I can't imagine living with that like you are now, but you're managing it, which is
yes, I'm
and learned how to manage it.
Exactly, and it's an ongoing learning experience. I attend the support groups that I can, and I did speak with, like I said, therapists, and it was more of the anxiety, and I had to come to grips, like I said, with the fact that my body this is the new
Never be the
norm.
same,
It'll
yeah.
never be the same. I had on the table the reconstruction surgery, and I've opted out of that. Right now, it's enough. My body's been through a lot.
It's only been a year, too. So
exactly. And so I have some time for that. And so what I learned also is so many people don't talk about it.
Right.
I had, within the time that I was going through treatment, I had a niece who I had no idea had been going through the same thing. Young, 27.
Wow.
Did not do the things that was necessary. Did some, but not as much.
So going through breast cancer.
Yes, going through breast cancer. Wow. And we lost her at 27 while I was in treatment. Prior to that, I had a church member who was older, and she had gone through it, never said a word until she passed. That's when we learned. So I felt like I was blessed to be able to see different age, different ways.
Right.
People chose to go through, not say anything. Someone who didn't do anything. And someone who did a little something.
Right.
So that helped me push to do all and more. And again, just share with everyone, especially the mental part now as far as reoccurrence.
Right.
Because I've seen and I know the stories.
Right.
But there's so much progress right now.
Every day.
It's amazing.
Every day.
Yes, it's amazing. So kind of settled down.
Well, yeah, good. You're entitled to take a breath and think about this. We're so grateful you were here with us today to share this story.
You.
Someone will be touched and moved by this. Know that. And,
Thank you.
And as they will be in your real life, too, as you walk through this journey. We're just so grateful you were here. Thank you, Felicia.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today on Let's Talk About Your Breasts. This podcast is produced by Speak Podcasting and brought to you by The Rose. Visit therose.org to learn more about our organization. Subscribe to our podcast, share episodes with friends, and join the conversation on social media using hashtag Let's Talk About Your Breasts. We welcome your feedback and suggestions. Consider supporting The Rose. Your gift can make the difference to a person in need. And remember, self-care is not selfish. It's essential.